Now, the Northern Lights are one of nature's great displays, a mysterious, multicoloured show, rather like Rosemary's Cookery, in which the night sky is suddenly lit up like a lava lamp, rather like Rosemary's Reagan. It occurs most commonly in the Arctic region, but has recently been seen in the Lake District, Scotland and East Lancashire. Joining me now to explain the beautiful display of Aurora borealis, and where best to see it, is astronomer Mark Thompson and explorer Martyn Andrews. Gentlemen, we hear lots of talk about it, Mark, but what precisely are the Northern Lights?
Well, the sun gives off heat and light, as we know. You know, we enjoy that mostly during the summer period, but it also gives off this thing called the solar wind, which is electrically charged particles that race towards the Earth about 400 kilometres per second, and when they get here, they interact with the gas in the atmosphere, and they make it glow, just like a neon tube glows from the electricity inside the bulb.
Now, where are the best places, then, to see the Northern Lights?
Well, typically, it's good to be far north, but as you mentioned, we have seen them far south of the UK, but certainly the northern parts of the UK, around northern Scotland, you get a better chance of seeing them, but you can sometimes see them further south.
Why have we managed, then, this year, to see them, you know, in Lancashire, in Cumbria, up there? Why is that?
Well, the sun goes through a period of activity, and the sun's actually been increasing in its level of activity over the last few years, and there's this 11-year solar activity cycle, and it gets more and more active, and then it starts to calm down again. So it kind of peaks and troughs over this 11-year cycle. And so at the moment, we're during a period of activity on the sun, and so that's why we're seeing the Aurora borealis, because it's chucking off more material. And there's been some incredible footage and videos from some of the spacecraft, like the SOHO spacecraft, which is showing these coronal mass ejections, which are just incredible explosions on the surface of the sun, chucking this stuff out into space.
What sort of environmental conditions do you need to see them clearly?
Clear skies. I mean, it's a joke, but, you know, clear skies are really all you need.
If it's cloudy, you're not going to see them.
If it's cloudy, you're not going to see them at all. If it's clear sky and there's a display going on in your part of the world, then you'll see it. You don't need binoculars, you don't need telescopes, no equipment needed. You will be able to see it. And so it's a naked eye phenomenon, but as long as it's clear, ideally a moonless night, because the brightness of the moon can cause them to be less visible. And if there's a display going on, then you'll see it.
What time of year is best?
It does vary. I mean, certainly we're around a good period of time at the moment. So I would say around this time of year, around the equinoxes, is probably one of the best times of year. But it does vary as the years progress.
So October, November, and obviously you've got longer, darker nights. You're not going to see them in the middle of the summer. What about, bring Martyn in now, because, Martyn, places then to go, we've talked about where you can happen to see them, but are there special sort of expeditions you can make with a view to seeing the Northern Lights?
Well, it's funny that I've filmed various travel shows. I've been to the Polar Circle, Scandinavia, Northern Siberia, and I've never seen the Northern Lights.
So we're making the point here that it's not guaranteed.
It's a bit like whale watching. You might not necessarily see them, but obviously they're called Northern Lights for a reason. They're in the north. So you want to really go above 60 degrees latitude, the Arctic regions. So we're talking countries such as Alaska, Canada, Iceland, Norway, Russia, Sweden, for example. So
can you do it on a budget, and can you do it luxuriously?
You can do it in many ways. I think an exciting way you can do it, you can actually do it just by flight only. There's a company called Amiga Holidays, and they do a flight from Stansted. It's £199. It's a 3-hour trip. You jet off, see the sights, and come back. Look on the left, look at the right. There you have it.
Really? So is there a better chance, do you think, if you're airborne, then? Because you're above the clouds?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It gets away the risk. Of course, a jet aircraft can travel many hundreds of miles, and so the Aurora do happen quite a lot throughout the year, and we just don't know about it because we're so far south. If you get on an aeroplane, 3 hours or so, you can get a long way to the north, get up near Norway, see the site above the clouds, so you take the risk of the weather out, and of course you can just come straight back home again.
But I guess there's nothing nicer than actually standing, as they used to say, on terracotta. Standing on terra firma, and there they are in front of you. I
saw the most phenomenal display from Norfolk quite a few years ago now, and it's not uncommon to see them that far south, but it does happen.
Yeah.
And it was the most incredible display, and it was eerie because it was silent, and you had these colours just kind of moving in the sky.
So it was really spectacular.
It's incredible to see. Absolutely incredible.
And in fact, in 2003, you could see them in France and Spain as well.
Gracious.
And it has been seen in London before as well. I googled yesterday Northern Lights in London, and it came up with a electrical light shop in Camden. But you can see them in the south of the country. It's just very, very rare.
And if you want a proper, you know, experience of going there and staying somewhere, and as you say, you've got to be patient. They might not happen. Where would you go? Where would you suggest we had a holiday?
Well, I think for the budget-conscious people, I think there's a great trip, which is through Icelander.com, and it's £299, which is a great price, and that includes a 3-star hotel in a cabin hotel, and that's per person, and that's to Iceland, a great trip there. And for the people who want to, you know, push the bank a little further, there's a trip which is a bit costly. It's £2,198 per person.
Ooh,
but
it's per night.
But it's called the Great Nordic Odyssey, and it's a 12-day excursion through Norway and Sweden. You take a scenic train through the mountains of Oslo. I mean, it's as 5-star as you can get.
Is that one of these ice hotels?
That's right. You go on to that separately, which I've stayed in an ice hotel myself in real raw Russia, and it's freezing cold, and the dead reindeer skin. Wasn't that, you know...
Oh, so take your thermals if you go to an ice hotel.
when you go to there.
So you really do get very cold inside.
Well, you're literally sleeping in a freezer.
Oh.
But it's all part of the amazing experience in this 12-day trip, which does cost, you know, just slightly over £2,000.
That amazing experience in my back kitchen, if I just shut the door of the freezer, and take a torch in with me for the Northern Light. No.
And there is another trip for 7 days, which is £1,699 per person, and this is going to Swedish Lapland.
Yeah.
And that's with off-the-map travel, and you can go to the Abisko National Park. And there's a famous place called the Aurora Sky Station, which is meant to be one of the main places where you can see this amazing phenomenon.
Wonderful. So if you feel so moved, those are the places to go. My thanks to Mark Thompson and Martyn Andrews. Thank you very much.